Okay guys, picking up with part 2 of my eye palette declutter collection, whatever you want to call it. I have the Natasha Denona Star palette, which I haven't really gotten into. I kind of bought it during the Sephora fall VIB sale, so at least I got somewhat of a discount. I bought it for the shades and the design, and I wanted to try out the formula of her shadows. Ironically, I heard the mattes are really good in this palette, but the metallics and shimmers are better in her, I guess, 238 palettes. I don't know if they're, yeah, I think they're 238, something like that. So anyway, so I'm keeping this. Very expensive purchase there. I have the Kat Von D, how do you open this? Alchemist palette. It's kind of a unique design. So I just got this during the spring VIB sale. I have the Kevin Kwan. This is, I think, the volume 2. Yeah, the Contour Book volume 2. It has a mixture of their cream and powder products. I think Starlight might technically be a highlighter as well, but it's kind of an eyeshadow format here. I'm going to hold on to this. I don't know if I would repurchase it. I bought the sculpting powder in light, I think, which came out after this palette was released. But I will keep that for now. I have the Cover FX, what was it called? The Perfect Light Highlighting Palette. This is in light medium. Also has a mixture of cream and powder products. I think I filmed a haul, which I might not have uploaded. But anyway, some of these pans seemed a little bit loose. And I bought it because I had a credit for Cover FX from Gilt. Like one of those, you spend $30, you get $60 in credit or something like that. And it was right before the Halo Cover FX drops came out. And so I thought this was, you know, one of the better options to use the credit on. And it has Moonlight and Celestial in powder and cream form, and I don't think they sell, is it Celestial in a powder form by itself? I don't know. But anyway, I have that. And then I have this little Z palette. This is the Benefit Cheeky Sweet Spot that came out around the holidays a couple years ago maybe. I have a video where I show how I depotted it. And obviously they've come out with those like cheeky parades or whatever where they have full size. These are smaller than full size, but anyway, still pretty good size, and I like having it in this little Z palette. So we're keeping that. Alright, also on the topic of Gilt related purchases, they had something with Butter London, and so I meant to do a video kind of swatching all of these and comparing them. Let's see, I have 2 blush collections, this is a bronzer, and then 2 eyeshadows. So the top lifts up like that if you just want to see the pattern. They all have sort of different embossing. And I might still do a video on these, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So the idea with these is that you can, they're kind of like the, what do you call it? The buxom shadows, I think. This part lifts up somehow. I always feel like I'm going to break these. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of push up from the back. And then these pans are all individual, so they sell individual blush shades like this. And I think you could even, if you wanted to create just like your own kind of on-the-go palette, travel palette, you can see the embossing on this one's a bit different. It's like a leaf pattern. The eyeshadow shades are about half the size, but I think it has the same grooves in it. Let's see. Alright, so that lifts up, and then, yeah, I think if you wanted to, you could create, like, you know, if you wanted an eyeshadow duo, a blush and a bronzer all in one little palette, you could do that. So you just have to play around with, they only want to come one way, I guess. So that's what the base looks like. It just has those little like plastic tracks in it. So anyway, and then this, the blush palette has a plastic that just fell out. It has a highlighter. Did I just break it? How do you work? On the glow pen. Ah, you twist it. Okay, so it has one of those like kind of I don't know, like reservoir system, I guess. So I don't know if you can see that highlight. But anyway, that was in the shade Rose Gold. Yeah. Perhaps not the most blinding, but anyway, I just thought these would be good to travel with or play around with, and they were pretty inexpensive with the credit. And I think Nicole from Young, Wild, and Polished talked about them. Am I going to be able to... And then the eyeshadows come with a little brush. It has like one kind of shader end and then a more like crease kind of blendy shade. I mean, it's decent for a small brush for a palette. It's not amazing quality. Okay, so that was one. Here, I'll keep that out. They also had, I think, a limited edition palette that was really kind of sparkly on top. That Ulta had. I don't know if it ever went on sale on the Butter London site. This one has a kind of pebbly alligator skin kind of texture. So these are both pretty cool toned, I think. This one's a little bit warmer. This one has more of a kind of green look to it. This one has more, I don't know, taupey, grayish kind of colors. So this one is Natural Charm, and this one is Pretty Proper. So I don't know if they've come out with other colors. I know that they have individual shades you can purchase to kind of create your own custom palette. Alright, and this one has like a geometric design. Try to get the light to hit it. Alright, so this is a bronzer. It has the, it just says gold highlighter. That one's, I think, showing up a little bit better. It's pretty yellow gold. So I think at least one of them's shimmery. That one looks pretty matte. The other one, I'm not entirely sure. It has more of a satin texture, I think. I don't know if you can see the difference there. So they feel pretty soft. They're not the most like creamy, buttery type texture, but that's not always what you want. Okay, and then one more. This is the blush in Just Darling. I always try to open these packages without completely ripping them to shreds. Okay, and then this one has that kind of floral pattern, and I can open it. Nope. So these are kind of more pinky mauve-y. I think the other ones are a bit more corally. So you can see the difference hopefully there. Okay, so I've spent enough time on all of those. I'm keeping them. Especially since I think they're so versatile when you can like kind of swap in and out. I don't mind having those options. And I do have some like single blushes and shadows I think I purchased as well. So they're not the most compact travel palette, but I think they are pretty versatile. You could also probably fit a small eyeliner where the brush is if you had like a deluxe size that you wanted to travel with. Alright, so that is all Butter London. Okay, I will quickly go through what's in here. I have the Hourglass. These are the ambient lighting blush palette. Keeping that. Also keeping just the original ambient lighting palette. And this is the first, I think, holiday palette they put out. So I'm keeping that. I have one Marc Jacobs palette. This is in the Lolita. So it's not my favorite palette, but I like having one at least. Alright, I have two Art palettes. This one is my sort of everyday reach for, dare I say, Holy Grail matte palette. It's just easy. I like the tones of the colors. I think there's some cooler ones, there's some warmer ones. Great light and dark. It's great. So really like that. This is the Paris Nude palette. I don't really reach for this one as much, but I will hold on to it. And I also have these little palettes that I bought to do a kind of dupe video. I did one on the matte sort of equivalent. Didn't get a ton of views, so I don't know if the interest is not there. This one I think is supposed to be a dupe for the Paris Nude palette. You can see kind of side by side there. These I purchased online. I heard some people found them at Five Below, but I couldn't find them in store there. So, alright, so I have this Erin, this is the Kaleidoscope palette. It comes with a very luxurious, kind of velvety package here. And to be honest, I got this, I think it was a Christmas glossy box that I purchased just because I wanted to, you know, get this palette, but I didn't want to pay. I think this retails for like $70 or $80. I don't know if it's still available, but it was definitely more expensive. It's one of those, I just like the look of it. I don't even know, like, on the face how it looks. I don't think I've ever used it on the face, but kind of a very pretty, just, I don't know. It wasn't that expensive because I got it in the glossy box, and I don't know. It was a good value that way. Okay, and then I have the original Becca Jaclyn Hill palette. This one has Champagne Pop, Pearl, and Blushed Copper. I don't remember if I have, I don't think I have Champagne Pop in the full size. Maybe I do. I can't remember. But I don't think I have Pearl anywhere else, so I will definitely be keeping it for that. And then this is a really good blush palette. It's called the Blushed with Light Blush Trio Palette. It has Wisteria, Songbird, and Snapdragon. And Becca has some really nice blushes. I think I got that for half price over the holidays. Also had a sale on it. And I think I got two, and I gave one away as part of my giveaway around the holidays. So nice quality on that. Alright, and then I have Anastasia. Several palettes here. I have this Z palette. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about. So these are the powder contour pans from the contour palette. I just took them out and put them in here. So it's really nice that the packaging allows you to do that. Kat Von D changed her contour palette packaging to also be removable. So anyway, then I have some individual shadows. This one is Chocolate Crumble. I have just a few of those. I think this one is a tiny Makeup Forever shade that came in a Sephora Play Box. This is I-544. And then these are, what are these? Okay, these are Makeup Forever shades. So those are the Makeup Forever shades I have, and Anastasia. So I like having the outer packaging say what brand it is. I've mentioned that before, but a Z palette also works. Oh, and I wanted to mention, I have a Makeup Forever palette. This is, I don't know what size it is, but a lot of people really like these. I don't care for it. Like the magnet, it feels kind of bowed in here. Like it's not very secure. It just, I don't know. It seems a little flimsy. I think these are maybe less expensive than a Z palette, and if you are trying to avoid using Z palettes, I understand, but I think the Makeup Geek, the small palette that I have is really nice, and I will probably purchase like the larger size of that style when they come out with it. But anyway, alright, so I have the Modern Renaissance palette, which is, you know, everyone's favorite at this point. I'll be keeping that. This is the Self-Made palette, and I've thought about getting rid of this. I mean, some of these shadows are unique to this palette. I don't really reach for it this often. I think I mean, they sell Pink Champagne as a single, and I'm tempted to buy it as a single and put it in the palette and then get rid of this. I think I mostly bought this when it came out because everyone was kind of hyping about it, and then it had that one shade. Kind of has an obnoxious, like, raised thing to it. That would be a maybe. I don't know if the money I got for it from Glambot would offset the cost of purchasing that one shadow individually. So it'd be kind of a waste to do that. This is the Master Palette by Mario. I will keep this. I think if this had come out after the Modern Renaissance palette, which I don't think it did, I might not have bought it, but I will keep it for now. And then I have the Moonchild palette, which really hasn't gotten enough love. I'd be tempted to buy the Aurora palette, mostly kind of for the name, but the shades don't really like appeal to me. I'm a silly kind of, I'm a very sentimental collector, so I buy things because of the name and the packaging, and I guess I ascribe meaning to them, even if it's just makeup. So obviously with my channel name, I'm kind of more drawn to the kind of celestial whatever items, but anyway. This is the Gleam palette, which looks kind of This was discontinued, so I will definitely be holding on to this one. And then finally I picked up the Nicole Guerrero palette in the BIB sale. Yeah, kind of gave into the hype on that one. Alright, so that is my Anastasia collection. Alright, so I have that basket I showed you, which has the Balm, Stila, Tarte, and then I have that big box which has Too Faced, Urban Decay, and Lorac, and some other things. So I might stop here and hopefully maybe get through all of those in part 3. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.